This episode of Mafia Family Ties is sponsored by Selena Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
All right, we are back with another episode of Mafia Family Ties. First time we've had a player on. Well, former. You're a fan now too, right? So you fit perfectly into this.
Yeah,
this
I was
whole,
everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's why we connected so well.
Absolutely.
Even during the playing days, I was still a fan of it. Even as a youth, you know, the Thurman Thomas, I had the same face mask as him, and I say, "Hey, I'm Thurman today." You know what I'm saying? So I was always a fan.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Yeah, one of my favorite stories, which I don't know how much pub it ever got. I mean, I knew about it through social media, but speaking of you being a fan, I remember when the Bills unveiled their new uniforms during the lockout. I don't know if you want to tell that story a little bit.
That was one of my favorite times in the stadium, you know, outside of being on the field. And I guess I'll tell it because it was really illegal and I wasn't supposed to do that. So, you know, that's part of why I am the Joker, Mr. Why So Serious. But it was also, if I remember, during the lockout, you know, and players weren't supposed to be in the facility or even on the location. And but I heard that they was unveiling new jerseys for us. And me being me, a rebel, you know, hey, I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna come sit down in the stands and look at this unveiling. And I sat in there with a couple friends, and one thing led to another. One person, hey, that's Stevie. That's Stevie. Then everybody turned around, coming out. I'm like, all right, look, we probably should get up out of here because if I get caught on this, I don't know what's gonna happen to me. And so we ran out the stadium. The fans, the kids, they was all chasing after us. Eventually, they caught up to us once I got towards the outside, signed some things. And said, whatever, if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. It is what it is. But that was like my mindset anyway, and that was a fun time, though.
Do you think you would have gotten more trouble with the league or the NFLPA?
I don't think I was really thinking about the league or the PA. I was just thinking about the Bills, you know, because as a seventh rounder, at the end of the day, you don't know much about the league offices. You just want to make this team. Yeah. So that was most important to me. I didn't want to get in trouble by the business suits. But they didn't say anything, and I guess I got a point with the Mafia that day also, which wasn't ultimately the Mafia at that time.
It was it was June, right? June in 2011. So it was kind of in that genesis still, you know. But I love that. I love that though. So when I was thinking about that, as we're thinking about this interview or whatever, just I thought I got to mention that because that's, you know, he's a player, but he's also a fan. And he's proven it in real life too.
For sure.
So we last saw each other at the Adam Schefter Made event that the team put on back in May. What have you been up to?
Man, just from then, just doing what I'm supposed to with the Spectrum News. My guys, Kevin Carroll and Andy Young, doing the post-game show, the Buffalo End Zone. Just staying connected with the team. You know, I've got some opportunities with TSN, doing things with them up over the border. And I mean, aside from that, you know, just family things. You know, it's a lot going on, but it's a lot of good things, a lot of blessings, you know, and I can touch on them all and we can be here forever. But, you know, while we're here, I want to actually thank you for opening your doors, your business door at 26 Shirts to our Exposure Academy because, that's actually what I'm out here for also. We just started our Homer's Garage, you know, auto repair shop, and that was one of our mentees that we brought in. So just thank you for opening your doors for that because it's about the future, you know, and providing for them.
Yeah, no, it's an honor to be a part of that, you know. So thank you for that opportunity.
Word up.
So any one thing that you haven't got done, because life's about to get real busy, even for us fans, you know, in the next the next month or so. Like, is there anything that you still need to squeeze in or wish you'd had time to do earlier?
Dang, you know what? No, I mean, I'm pretty active with the digital work. Also got some work with Michael Florio, Fantasy Guru, you know, so that's something that's cool. It's keeping me active. I would say if I wanted to do more, just thinking about that Exposure Academy, I'd probably like to, you know, get a legit team that can help manage that because it's so helpful for these student athletes and students that's not athletes to join and learn different skills and be able to learn the community that they're in because everybody's, again, not going to go pro, you know? So a lot of us go be citizens in this world or husbands, wives, whatever. And I just want to build that. I want to build that Exposure Academy a little bit more, but I don't want to be in a rush, you know, to make it a little sloppy, you know.
Right,
I'd rather, make it right for them.
Yeah, thoughtful.
Yeah.
Careful. Yeah.
So just the mentorship work, keep doing that. Little by little, we do it with my partner Charlie Roberts with the children's books. that's how we try to mentor. That's how we try to just provide.
Yeah. No, you've been crushing it, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right, so that's your off season. The team's off season. It's been pretty busy,
right?
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean,
I like it.
They're in the middle of Hard Knocks now. Josh Allen got married. They re-signed a bunch of the core players, Josh included, got another extension.
Yeah. Big shout out to the fan base for even getting that HBO segment. Big shout out to the players again, for putting that work in, because HBO don't just pull up to anybody. Now the world's getting to see what we've been seeing from day one. So it's pretty cool to turn on the TV on the West Coast and see Buffalo Bills on the television as opposed to those main teams that's always on there.
Yeah, I love how boring it is.
Right.
So often you've got agents getting in these fights with the general managers, and it's nice and boring.
Man, and that's pretty funny, because when I went to, I'm not putting no shade on the 49ers. That's my team too. That's my home team. But when I went from Buffalo to San Francisco, it's just a difference. The community, there's the same support. They're diehards out there also. But the connection is just not the same. It's something different about being here in Buffalo than being in other places. It's more of a family connection. And I think we've heard other players that come in now, they speak on it. And it's really real. It's really real. And it's hard for me to explain, but you just got to be in it to really understand it. And it was definitely, even going to San Diego, they got a good fan base that support their team, but nothing really matched Bills Mafia and the Buffalo Bills connection at all.
Yeah. I'm sure we're going to clip that out and put that on a reel. Nothing matches Bills Mafia, right?
Yeah, it's all facts. All facts.
So, but yeah, the Bills have had a pretty crazy offseason though. It's just fun to see how it's all coming together. Hard Knocks, everything that's happened. The only thing that's left is playing late into the off,
Super Bowl.
You said it. All right, Super Bowl. That's all that's left, right?
Yeah, and I really like what the business suits did in One Bills Drive with not being prideful. They didn't go out there and say, oh, well, we got the MVP. We'll just try to add more depth on the offensive side to help our MVP. They saw what happened to the team that stopped us the past four years, and they went and added to that, and that was the defensive line. And right now, it is preseason, so we're still seeing growth with these guys, even growth as far as playing next to each other, because on the defensive line, it's really a team game. One guy's got to take the double team or got to sacrifice themselves so another person can kind of slide in and get some kind of leverage. And that's what we're seeing these young guys build. Bringing in Joey Bosa is something that I thought was a great move because of his IQ on the edge. He's got the athleticism to dive and make plays. And he's also got the smarts to understand, okay, I don't need to necessarily go in for this play because I know I have a teammate either backing me up and I just need to hold ground here. It's a little bit more in depth with his game as opposed to, let's see, one of the rookies. We'll see like TJ Sanders or I wouldn't say Deion Walker because he'll be like one of those double team guys, the sacrifice guy. Landon Jackson maybe going to go get a ball. They're just direct line to go get the ball. Bosa, he can do both. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited to see the growth between that defensive line because I'm not gonna lie, we was hurt by the passes last year. We was hurt by passes, and even in this preseason, I know it's preseason, but I've been getting I had a little nightmare last night after watching that game, how they was going up the seam on us, and I just hope we get a little more physical in the back end of our defense.
Yeah, no, for sure. Speaking of, you've been in San Francisco, you've been in San Diego. You played for Kentucky. We got some Kentucky players on this roster.
Yeah.
What's that like? Do you have a rapport with them, or do you guys share, memories, of the campus together and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's always connections through the Big Blue Nation. That's the BBN in Kentucky. It's beautiful to see those guys come in. I remember making a post when these guys got drafted, and I felt like Kentucky players were the perfect players for Buffalo because even being in the SEC, people kind of overlook the Kentucky Wildcats, but there's a lot of talent there, so they kind of had that chip on their shoulder. And I'm not saying people overlook the Buffalo Bills, but when you come here to a organization that's looking to get that Super Bowl, we've been there, they've been close, they've had great players. You know what I mean? You want that player that's got that chip on their shoulder to come in. You kind of don't want it's tough now. You kind of don't want the guy that's just, he's already pampered and everything. You know what I mean? You kind of want that grit. And then you saw that with Ray Davis, the versatility. It don't matter if I play 5 plays or 15 plays, put me at receiver, backfield, or on special teams, I'll do it all. You know what I mean? And that's the type of players that's going to eventually get that Lombardi for Buffalo.
Let's go. All right, so switching gears a little bit.
Yeah.
You and I have been kind of connected now for like 14 years.
We've been connected for a long time, man. Naturally, too, and I respect it a lot through good times and bad times. That's why I love you, bro.
Yeah, no, likewise, love you back. Myself, Bree, Leslie, that whole genesis of Bills Mafia and the other fans that were kind of involved with that at the outset.
Because people don't know. They don't know. We was connected before Bills Mafia really like boomed. And then I don't think people even know this. The Pittsburgh game where I had my worst game ever, I drop a pass wide open. And people should understand why I was so serious on myself for missing that pass, because college, we talk about Kentucky. All I do is catch game winners. You know what I mean? I know people can't guard me. And then I get to this Pittsburgh game wide open and I miss it. Like, how does this happen? And it can only be one source. You know what I mean? I think it's my savior. You know what I mean? And so I took it a little bit too serious, but at the end of the day, fast forward that, you guys supported me so much on the media. And I'll just speak on media, not even in a physical form. Because I was in the media wanting to let people know my thoughts, my opinions, you know what I mean, from a player that's on TV or a celebrity or whatnot. I wanted to get my opinions out there. So it was everywhere. But I saw things. I saw the messages that other people were sending after I posted my tweet. But you guys still supported it, and y'all didn't have to do that. So I felt like it was kind of divine for me to be the person to be wide open and miss a pass, which is very rare. And but just the love that we had and the bond, I think it made the Bills Mafia even bigger than what it was, because it was so authentic even before then,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's funny you talk about the divine. So I'll just bring it up. God trusted you to drop that pass.
Man, I wish he didn't. But at the same time, man, we see what it created. But
maybe it's a better way for me to put it. He didn't trust that you would draw the pass. What I meant was, like, he knew, if that divinely happened, he knew he could trust you.
Indeed.
And everything that was going to follow years later, right?
Yeah, that's pretty deep. I see what you're saying with that.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, let him throw it to Stevie.
Man, yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, because another person plenty of receivers miss passes, but they didn't spark anything like what we have here in Western New York and now all around the world. So yeah, I guess it was divine,
Because you were almost curating that moment. I'm gonna go real deep. You're almost curating that moment leading up to that through the couple years that you were active on social media. You were building relationships with specific fans so that when that moment happened, it was very natural for fans to surround you.
Right. And I didn't expect that at all. Man. And even the response that I got after I posted the tweet about why me? Why would you do this? I thought people would be like, okay, that's what an athlete is thinking after something like this happened. Oh, but I got the total opposite. They attacked me, but it's all a part of it, man. And even though people that probably attack me to this day, they probably support me. I support them either way, no ill will. It's all locker room talking. It's entertainment at the end of the day, and I feel like it's something that players and people learn from ultimately.
No, I thought it was great that you brought up God, because so often it's like somebody wins the Super Bowl, they win a game, they thank God, they thank their Lord and Savior.
Only good times.
And only the good times, right? Yeah. And people always say, like, how come does he want them? No, well, God's got a bigger purpose.
No, I'm definitely balanced and I'm fair all the way through, and I'll talk to God all day, every day. If y'all watch games back then, you'll probably look a little closer before I break the huddle. I'm always saying thank you and protect us, watch over us, all that. Every time, so I never had no ill will with God after that. It was just, that was just talk that we probably should have kept personal.
That's funny. Bigger purpose, right? Bigger purpose.
Precisely.
No. So we a lot of things have happened over the past 14 years. We've done some stuff together. We've done some stuff separately. What's one of the, not football related, nothing, performance with it, but like, what's the coolest experience that you've had that's kind of grown out of, I'll say Bills Mafia, but your relationship with Buffalo fans?
Yeah, I would say when we met out at the Creator Summit. So you was fan of the year, and I also we do our mentorship and our Creator Summit. Shout out to Pigeons of New York, our NFT gang, and we invited you. You showed up, had the missus with you. More Bills Mafia was in there and got to get the floor and speak. That, we spoke on HBO earlier, coming to Buffalo and now the world getting to see it. You guys was on the West Coast representing Western New York with that that red, white, and blue, know? So like that was something that was special, being able to show Vegas, here's my community, and that was pretty cool.
That was awesome. That was a good turnout you had.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm like, what are we doing here? This is amazing.
Yeah, we go run it back. The Super Bowl's in. Obviously, our Bills is going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to need you to come by again to run it back for part 2 up in Santa Clara.
Yeah, no doubt. So you speak about, you brought up the fan of the year thing. So I'll just say, and I always tell people this joke, like in that video where the Bills released where, I gave you a hug, I said, you don't understand, like I hugged him like 15 times during that whole thing.
Yeah, and people don't know about that one. The missus was behind that, huh?
Oh,
hey, making that happen.
That was awesome.
Support.
Yeah, she had it in her mind, like once she found out it was even a thing, and I was like, "Don't do it." She's like, "Oh no, I'm doing it." So when they told me, they said, "Yeah, it was kind of unanimous." I was like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
But it's obviously very humbling.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it was, and I think I told you like 10 different times, like I was so special. It was so special for it to be you of all people to do it.
Facts.
And then. I think he threw me that pass, and I don't know what's coming. I didn't even know you're gonna be there, so nowhere near it. And I always say they didn't show the 10 or 15 minutes. We were just playing catch afterwards.
Right?
I kept thinking, like, if I just keep playing catch, maybe that they won't show the part where I missed it. No,
you came out that tunnel like you was a real Bill.
That's what they said. They said run faster.
You kept going like, oh my goodness, and I was really not trying to make you miss it. It just kind of happened like that.
I appreciate that. I didn't think you were.
Oh my goodness, but it all worked out. It
Absolutely.
all worked out like it was supposed to, and that was a good feeling too, because when I was awarded Legend of the Year the year before, I didn't even know it was a thing. I was just out here again, just in the community, active, thankful to be able to share some knowledge. And then when they presented it to me, I was like, wow, it was like the same feeling that you had. Like you don't really know what to say. It was like, what? Like,
yeah.
That was pretty cool to share it and be able to, give that to you for the following season.
That was awesome.
That was sweet, bro.
Great memory. I still have the giant ticket that you gave me. It's up on the wall.
You got to keep that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's bomb.
Yeah.
That's bomb.
They better have my name on it. You wrote my name on everything, right? But no, it was special. Okay, so we're going into this season now. There's some momentum. What are some things that you're looking forward to coming out of, aside from the Super Bowl, right? That you're looking forward to, you're looking for this season?
Physicality. I've seen everything I needed with this team. I've seen the dynamic plays on offense. I've seen the talented players on both sides, on all 3 sides, if you include special teams. But what I haven't seen is that physicality and that competitiveness while being physical. I've seen people try to line up one-on-one, and I can juke you, or I can get better pass here, or I can guard you by shadowing you, but nobody's gripping up and trying to play a little bit more physical. And I think that's what I want to see, the game within the game. Because, we can go back and forth about the X's and O's. We can look around the league and see and say the same thing. But the ones that get further, I'm telling you, are the ones that's a little bit more illegal. They're a little more illegal. They pull a little bit more. They probably jam a little bit at that 5-yard cushion where you're not supposed to, but that helps. It stops a quarterback from looking down that seam because his guy got pushed hard or something. If you just tap him, that's not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we're going through right now. Guys just doing their job as opposed to competing.
It's football.
It's football.
Right? I feel like every year they're taking football out of football.
Right. And look, I don't want to go in the past, but I had a player that I was favoring in Kyer Elam. He was a physical guy. He had touch, pull, do all. And I think that's what you kind of need, though. And he kind of got thrown into a situation where you get calls. DB, you're not going to be able to guard these guys. These guys on offense is crazy, running this fast, doing these moves. You got a quarterback. But I think he was good enough to provide that extra thought for a receiver if he hold or do something. But, we got guys that can do the same things that Kyer can. They just got to get those reps in. And I see them in position. They just got to be a little bit more illegal.
Yeah, and we're obviously wishing the best to Kyrie Elam in Dallas now and everything.
Absolutely.
So speaking of physicality and just players, other players and stuff, Ocho Cinco.
Ocho.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with him, because I remember the Bills had just beat the Bengals. They came back and they won. You scored 3 touchdowns the week before that Pittsburgh game. And I remember after that drop, he was on Twitter and he was saying, I remember he said, like, keep your head up and all that. So
yeah, supporting me. That came about with me just being a young receiver in the league. I'll tell you where it started, to be honest. Fitzpatrick actually took us out to his house in Arizona, and it was Fred Jackson. I think he was the only running back, Fred, and then it was the rest of the receivers, Donald Jones, Naaman, David. And from there, I was like, how could I, get to the next level? I want to move like a hooper all the time, but will I get in trouble for it? Will they allow me to? So I got on my iPad and I was just watching all Ocho routes, and I was watching his practice film. I was watching his game films, and I'm like, he kind of doing his own thing within his routes, but he's getting to the same spot that he needs to. And I was like, man, if he can do it, then I'm gonna follow Ocho. I'm gonna do what he doing then. And I put that to work with Fitz. It started out there in Arizona where I'm doing different stuff, lining up different places, making it not look the same. And I was ending at the same spot where I was supposed to. And it was working. From then on, I adapted the mindset that Ocho was saying, like, he just go do him between him and T.O. I'm going to do me. And I didn't take it in a negative way, but I took it in a way where I got to come into this season with these coaches and just do me, because I believe in my skills. I believe in my ability, and they just going to have to deal with it. And I did that, and they allowed it. So that was a blessing, just having that vision to watch Ocho, and then, him supporting me when low times. And even, recently, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Speaking of players you have a great rapport with, Darrelle Revis.
Man, I wish it was better. To be honest, like, you got to think about it. You got one of the best cover guys, and then you got one of the best guys off the line. And that kind of happened. I know what you're talking about. That little dispute, it wasn't even that. It was just exchange of, he didn't even at me, so he didn't even say nothing to me, to be honest. I don't know. I guess I was kind of sensitive at the time, because I did reach out to him to try to do some kind of mentor thing, DB receiver thing, and I didn't get anything back from him. So it's like, okay, that's cool, that's nothing. But then another person on social writes something about me and him, and he instantly writing them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to talk about like my skill or whatnot. And that just got to me. That got to me, like, bro, if I hit you direct about something, you don't have to hit me. But if somebody writes something about you and they don't even hit you direct, but you contact them, like, what? Like, what's going on, bro? You really serious about these clips on here? You could have got me. I could have got it. Don't matter. Let's teach the youth. But he was on another one, kept talking about it, so I just had to get on him a little bit, let him know that he wasn't. Yeah, just had to check him like he couldn't check me. And that was really it. That was really it.
Yeah, he got a gold jacket. What's he complaining about?
Yeah, he got a gold jacket. What you mad at? You can guard everybody else. You couldn't guard me, and we know what it was. You had your chance, 1-on-1 press. You backed up. I scored again on you on the same route I scored on you when I was a rookie. And I didn't even know who he was at the time. It's just competing, man, at the end of the day, and giving respect when respect is due, because I give credit to anybody who D'd me up. Everybody heard about stories with Leotis McKelvin, Drayton Florence, when they locked me up. But it's about respect and then communication. How did you do this? How did you get that? And then we grow from there, And I think that's what the league has turned into now. A lot of guys on different teams are linking up, doing summits and doing things like that. And I thought we would be pretty cool together. But, it is what it is. Maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah, his loss.
Yeah.
Nothing happens,
Yeah, he good.
Speaking of living in the past, Stadium. You played a lot of games in that stadium.
Yeah,
Do you have a favorite memory or memories you want to share?
Yeah, I do, actually. Preseason. It was preseason against Detroit Lions. I got my first opportunity to make a play and show who I was, I'll build it up a little bit. I'm on the sideline the game before, and I'm not in gear, but I see plays being made by our Bills, but nobody was doing anything. Nobody was acknowledging the fans. No, after a first down, they just went back to the huddle. It was nothing. So I'm looking at the fans, they going crazy. I'm looking at the players, and they just going back to the huddle. I'm like, ooh, I know how I'm gonna get on this team. I know exactly how I'm gonna get on this team. So then I got the opportunity to play more, and that it was the third preseason game because that's when the rookies get to play a lot. And Jabron Hamden, I remember we was up at the line of scrimmage, and he wanted me to do a hitch. He wanted me to do a hitch. And I'm like, man, the fans don't want to see a hitch. They want to see a go. I'm like this. I'm telling him the go signal. He like, clock going down, 3, 2. He just say hike. I take off. He see I'm not running a hitch. He throw it up. I go up and get it against the Detroit Lions. And then I made the play, got up, and I went to the crowd. Let's go. And that was just one of those moments, I believe, that sparked my name or that 13. And I saw like the message boards, like, who's this Steve Johnson? Who's this? You know what I mean? And it worked. You know what I mean? I saw it the game before. I used it, and it worked.
I love it. That was 08?
That was 08.
Yeah.
That was 08.
And that fourth preseason game, people don't think it didn't matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, that's right. It was the fourth one.
I didn't hear you say, but the Lions were always the fourth game.
Exactly.
That's why,
it was the fourth one.
You know?
Yeah, that's when we played a lot. Fourth preseason game. But that was a special memory because if I would have just ran the hitch, I probably would have got cut. Who knows?
Well, I'm glad you didn't run the hitch then.
Yeah. I was a little defiant, and you got to take those chances. You know, looking at players, sometimes you got to take those chances. This day and age, I don't think you have to because the communication is so good with these athletes now. You know, quarterbacks are willing to take those chances for receivers because of players like Fitzmagic, who was given those opportunities, you know, to playmakers. So, I love it. I'm looking forward to this entertaining season.
I feel like you're in Buffalo as much as you're on the West Coast. I know that's not really the case, but like, why is it so crucial for you to keep coming back here and investing? Because you're from San Francisco. You played in San Francisco. You played in San Diego. But you're spending a lot of time here investing. Yeah,
I just feel it was more support in my low times here, you know, and, you know, I think that was special to me. That was very special to me. San Francisco, that's home. We stay in San Diego. Misses love it. But Buffalo was where I learned everything, though. You know, life. Life happened. In those 6 years, it felt like 12 years, you know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot of it here in Buffalo, so I gotta continue to help spread these young seeds, you know, that's running around here, so that they can be able to hold down Buffalo like we are, like you are, you know, like Bruckman is, you know, just providing for this area.
No, I love it. And as you know, as a member of Bills Mafia, thank you and as a member of Western New York, thank you for investing in this area.
Indeed, brother. Always same with you, brother. Same.
So, going back to the current team, it's a much different vibe with the fans now in relation to the team than it was back then. Back then, it was kind of like this scrappy team. We just want to see, hey, if we could even get a playoff game, that would be awesome, right? Or, oh my gosh, they talked about us on SportsCenter. Right. And now it's a little bit different. Expectations are raised. Like, the season doesn't even start until January for a lot of people. What's your take on that? And if you could share a bit of wisdom with I guess the players who are on the team currently, and even the fans right now, like what would you share? What would you say?
I would just say, like you said, back then it was more so we want a competitive team. We'll say Super Bowl or bust because it's the thing to say. But now you say it and you mean it, you know, and it's not even a bad thing to say. At least I feel like that. Like, I say Super Bowl or bust with this team because I feel like we got some of the best players in the AFC. We got the best quarterback in the entire league. And why not say Super Bowl or bust and let that be the mindset? Don't take it personal, guys or players that's hearing it, you know, own it and go for it. That's what your main objective is to get a Super Bowl, right? When I was playing, that was what we would say too, because that's what as an individual player, you want to get a Super Bowl. Now, when I said it back then at the time, because we was having difficult seasons, like, yeah, whatever, bro, you know. But now that's not nothing. That's the norm now, you know, and they should own it.
Wide receiver position, you're a bit of an expert. Outside of Shakir and Coleman, Who's really intriguing for you on this roster right now?
My guy is Josh Palmer. I'm gonna be looking at Josh Palmer this season a lot because of the talent that he's got, the ability that he has. And when I say ability, is certain moves that you utilize coming off the line, which can slow a DB down. And I seen him utilize the move. I want to see if he can progress into being that easy button for Josh. I think Josh played with a lot of players that's technicians, that's route technicians. And when I say that, think about Shakir, where if you run a basic route, which is an end, basic is a 12-yard end, he'll get up to 12 yards and then he'll get it in. It's technique. What Josh is playing with now is a player that can set up a DB, like how I did, get to a certain spot, juke and do something else. Once that DB or once that receiver, like a Josh Palmer, understand that he's got that power to control the DB, Josh's job is going to be so much easier, and Josh Palmer's stats will rise. But if he continue to move too fast, I think it's going to be a problem. Similar to Elijah Moore, he's another one that I'm watching because he's got a skill set that can be useful. But if he try extra hard, he's going to be getting the spots too early. The plays aren't perfect. They're not how things are written up. So if you just calm down and see the defense as it move, he'll get into spots because of his skill set that he has. You said aside from Keon and Shakir, I'm gonna go Josh and Elijah because those are the new guys, and I really like their skill set, and hopefully they can be utilized appropriately.
All right. Any wild cards on offense and I guess defense too? Like who's someone's gonna surprise fans, you think, this year?
A surprise on offense. We 3 deep at running back. That's no surprises there with Ray and Cook. I've been seeing Tyrell Shavers make plays. Will it equate to like being a factor on the team in a regular season? I don't know. But maybe if he can play special teams, I kind of want to see a spark on special teams. I don't know. Let me see. Offense is kind of tricky.
Yeah, right. Because so much of it's already established.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's pretty set on offense.
Fair
on defense, I would say I like Jordan Hancock. I like Jimmy Charlo. I seen who else was playing out there? Joe Andreessen. I was just defending him, not defending him, but I was just kind of shedding light on a play where he missed the tackle at the goal line, but people not understanding to get through that hole that he got through while being chipped on a play where a running back is going on the outside and still almost get there. It's pretty special. Now, okay, he'll just make the play or he'll identify, but that's on other players to fill in that outside. It wasn't on Joe. So I think Joe's got a good motor to be something special like Milano is. Dorian Strong has an opportunity. He's one of those guys where if he can grip up a little bit more and be more physical and not be so legal, I think he can be dynamic for us. But, Shaq Thompson.
All right.
Shaq Thompson's one. I think his leadership, because we know how injuries happen throughout the season, and to have depth and then have a depth with a linebacker like Shaq Thompson who can play versatile. He can play a sideline to sideline, or he can read and react and play back in a cover 2 Tampa type position. I think he can be special, a sleeper on the low for us.
No, I like that. It's good. That's actually really good perspective because they brought him in late. He's that veteran perspective. That's really good, especially when Andreessen's just, it's his second year, but he's still,
right. And last year I shout out Dorian Williams because he was a baller, active everywhere, stepped up and did a lot.
Yes.
I feel like they should probably cut his reps a little bit more in the preseason because I see him out there a lot.
Yeah.
And we want to keep him fresh, for later on in the season. He's going to be a factor on the special teams with Shaq coming in. But I think he's going to be a factor on special teams to bring us that energy.
Yeah, Dorian Williams moving from year 1 to year 2 was like...
Wait, last year he was a rookie?
No, year before.
Oh, okay, before. I was about to say.
From year 1 to year 2 last year.
Yeah.
Night and day. He filled in for Milano.
Dude.
Just like...
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Great. All right, so as we start to wrap this up a little bit, you said it, Super Bowl. You said, I'm not afraid to say it. You brought it up in the conversation. You've had a front row view of Bills Mafia now for 15 years. Even before we were called the Mafia. Let's say February, Josh Allen's hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. How do you think the fan base reacts? How do you think it changes? How do you think it stays the same? Like, this is a wall that I hit because I don't know the answer to it. So, like, maybe you can shed some light on it for me.
Yeah, I would say that it ain't gonna change because we already on 10. You feel me? We been on 10 days when we was down here when the team was low. So I think it'll just be another sense of we got ours. It'll be pride. Let's see if we can get another one. I feel like there'll be tears. There'll be tears of joy. You know, there'll be a lot. There'll be a lot of documentaries, I believe. You know, this is something that's special. I was thinking this. I'm gonna go even deeper. Like, if a team can go to 4 Super Bowls and lose, there's got to be a cycle where a team can go back to another 4. And is this not the team that seemed like it's set up with the extensions that we got?
I'm here for it.
You know? So, hey, maybe this is the cycle where the Bills go to 4 and win. Yeah. So that's how optimistic I am about it.
My prediction is, we've been saying, like, in fact, they just did they're working on a documentary, Just One Before I Die, right? And those T-shirts, like, just give me one and all that. Like, I think that real quick, we're gonna say we want one more. We want one more.
Yeah. And why not? Then the next one will be why not another?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. One more.
Let's go for 4. Yeah.
So, but this was great, man. It was awesome catching up. You know, like I said, I you know, we have a connection that goes so far deeper than just like, he played for the team and, you know, I'm a fan. I appreciate you. I love you. And I appreciate you taking the time.
More than sports, brother.
Absolutely.
Thanks.